Hey guys, good morning. It's Saturday morning, actually the first Saturday in June. I'm out in the garden, just finished doing some watering, and I need to do some maintenance, mainly pruning back some tomatoes, inspecting for some bug damage, which I kind of did while I was watering. That's one benefit of hand watering is you can kind of go around and actually inspect things as you're watering. But I am going to look into installing some irrigation for the next year's garden. Probably that won't be until the fall, um, maybe the early winter months. But nonetheless, thought I'd bring you guys along so you can see what I'm doing out here. So here's just a small turnaround here in the garden, trying not to make you guys dizzy. Lots of things going on out here, um, which I'm very pleased with. I usually keep a bucket or two. I'm trying to slowly turn around out here in the garden for things that I prune and add to the compost bin. There's a quick glimpse into the hoop house. All right, so let's get to work. All right, so these are some of the extra tomatoes that I planted. The idea for adding the smaller ones around the bigger ones, they have grown, but they are, of course, growing a little bit slower because they're shaded. But hopefully, my plan is for these to grow and kind of replace the bigger ones as they die out. So that way I'll get like a longer harvest. So we'll see how that works. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so this is actually an Alberta peach tomato. Very fuzzy. It's supposed to be similar to a peach. I'm not sure about the taste, but it's supposed to grow like some fuzz around the peach, so we'll see how that tastes. But you can see there are some tomatoes coming in here, which is very exciting. As I'm pruning, I'm actually okay with some of the suckers growing. I am kind of trying to limit them to, maybe just a few here and there. But what I'm trying to do is open up the airflow. So like this is way too crowded in here. So I'm gonna trim off some of these big leaves, and you can see there are some blooms back in there. But if you leave this way too cluttered and not allow air to kind of flow through your plants, it just is a canvas or open canvas for disease and pest pressure. So that's the idea there. All right, so that's better. I still could do a little bit more pruning on the other side. So this is what I removed. Bucket sitting right there. I threw them on the ground. I'll get that up. All right, so I'm gonna go in. I'm trying to do this one-handed also. You definitely want to remove any discolored leaves, just so you don't, you save the plant's energy from trying to recover those damaged leaves, and you allow it to focus more on forming new, hopefully blooms, but definitely healthier growth. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some of that off. There. So this here, sometimes I will go in and just cut part of the leaf. You want to be careful not to cut off all the leaves, because of course they do need those leaves to photosynthesize. Let's see here. Spider webs. Try not to kill the spider, but I need to get in here. All right. Remove some of these. Seeing a lot more people online talking about flea beetle pressure. I'm actually seeing that quite a bit in my garden this year. Here's and we're really clustered heavily on these spring onions, and there you can see those little black dots. I normally see them on eggplant. It's interesting this year. I'm seeing them a little bit more on some other plants. Like I've seen them on some tomatoes. Actually, I normally do see them on beans. But interesting with the cold weather that we had, that we're still experiencing some pest pressure. I always try to be on the lookout for any little dots. It could be a sign of some kind of egg laid by some type of moth. Of course, the biggest pest for the tomato would be that tomato hornworm. Oh, those just really just gross me out. All right, these are Roma tomatoes over here, which you can see are doing really good. I can't remember what that is. It's labeled, but I can't get to the label. So I'm gonna remove some of these. Forgot that I was watering. Let's go ahead and get this other one in. There you go. I know you probably have heard other gardeners talk about suckers, but this is one that's gotten too big. It grows in between the main stem and a leafing branch. This is actually a new tomato plant. One year I did too much pruning on my suckers and I was not able to maximize my tomato harvest. So I'm very careful on over pruning those suckers. But just know that you do need to be prepared to stake that one because it can get pretty big. And you can see there's already some fruit growing there. It's one that I need to come back and prune or stake up. Actually just planted, me and my kids planted some beets right there, so I need to be careful. Definitely need to remove these yellow leaves. Let's see here. Open up that canopy a little bit. It's better. You can prune tomatoes pretty heavy. You just want to be careful, again, where you're cutting. There's a little sucker that's too small, or real small, so I'm going to go ahead and cut that. And these bottom ones here. You definitely want to try not to have your leaves also touching the soil, just because that also opens you up to pests because of the close contact with the soil. back. I need to stake that a little bit. So I just took the water hose out of this green stalk. I have one more to water. And you can see the water coming down back in there. And it goes all the way to the bottom. I did do a little bit of pre-spraying of those just to make sure the front of the pots got watered as well. When I say front, I mean some of the flowers that I have on the outer rim of the pot. All right, just kind of still checking some things. Trim that back. This one's in a slightly more shaded area. Wonder if that's why it's growing all funky. You can see that little curved branch back there trying to get to the sun. All right, that's what I pretty much got. I did some pruning as I was going around watering. I think I did that one already, yeah. This will go into the compost bin. All right, so I found this stretchy cord. You can actually just tear it. This is what I've been using to kind of stake up my tomatoes this year. And any plants, honestly. So I'm gonna come in, tie it. You don't want to tie it too tight so that it pinches the stem. Done with that one. So before I end the video, I did want to show you just some things I need to harvest. I'll probably do that later on. These are some jade beans. I've been actually harvesting about a good handful every day. Shared some with my mom. This looks like flea beetle pressure when you see these little dots like that. But I will be pulling these out soon. I do have some other ones planted so I can get more harvests just around the garden. So I did succession plant some. These are dragon tongue beans. This is a bush variety. The jade beans are also a bush variety. Been harvesting those as well. I need to actually come in here and prune this grapevine. That'll be a whole nother day. These are, I believe, the Kentucky Wonder pole beans. These are just starting. No. These are the, what are they called? I don't think I labeled. Then let me see. Maybe I did. Nope. I don't think that one actually came up. I can't remember the name of these, but they're the ones that are, they kind of get like a red, purplish streaking on them. But it is a pole variety. I can update you on the name in another video. The peppers are just starting to produce. These are banana peppers. There's quite a few different things or varieties in here. A late shishito. This is the Acapulco red, which actually looks like it's purple. These are a purple bean variety that I thought were bush, end up being poles, so I had to kind of do an impromptu trellis, and they're just starting to form some flowers. So I'll be excited to see those harvest. The tomatillos are finally starting to develop. Like these have been flowering actually for the longest. And they're just now starting to husk up. So that's exciting. Experimenting with growing an eggplant in this green stalk this year, and it has its first bloom coming in. There's a couple more on there. Leaf broke, go ahead and remove that. But very excited to see how that does in the green stalk. There are some more beans there that we've been harvesting. I think those are the Kentucky Wonder Bush bean variety, I believe. Here's some more. These are the purple burgundy, I believe, bush beans. Those just started, like we did our first harvest on yesterday, me and my daughter. So this evening, before it gets dark, because we have some things to do today, I'll come out and do some harvesting. Planted some more tomatoes over there because I'll be pulling this pea trellis out. I was trying to let those go to seed so I can collect them, but I'll do another trellis back here for those tomatoes to climb up. And we're finally starting to get some cucumbers. Saw these here. I've seen the bees swarming around, so fingers crossed they're pollinated. I was not able to get out here and do any hand pollination. That's one of the Armenians, which is actually a melon, technically, but it's harvested as a cucumber. I think there's some more on that one, but I have quite a few cucumber varieties this year. So I'll definitely keep you posted on how things go out here. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Please join me on my Instagram channel or Instagram if you have not already. I do more updates on my harvest, more daily videos there, and just more updates in general on my Instagram at So Love Garden. But have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, you guys.